2 days, bulls have been reasserting their dominance here on Wall Street. The major averages seeing 2 consecutive positive days as tensions cooled here in the U.S. and abroad. The Trump administration hitting a potential trade deal, hinting at potential trade deals, saying 18 proposals are being reviewed. The Treasury Secretary has also said he expects tensions with China to de-escalate, though no talks on a deal have occurred yet. And the major averages losing some of the relief rally in the pre-market as China asserted no negotiations have been held yet. We are looking at the Dow lower on the session, pulling back by about 50 points, but the Nasdaq and S&P 500 are advancing. Meanwhile, President Trump commenting that he has no intention of firing Jay Powell, and that has increased investor confidence. Trump is still pushing for the central banker to lower interest rates, but the markets Tuesday and Wednesday seemed encouraged by the more easygoing tone coming out of the White House. Well, joining me to break down market volatility this morning is Gabriela Berropsi, who is the founder and CEO of Latino Wall Street. Gabby, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, first and foremost, break down the latest market swings that we've been seeing so far this week.
Remy, how are you? So it's been wild what we've been witnessing because we see how the headlines are completely connected to the market volatility. And right now, it has everything to do with trade deals, right? So when we had the 90-day pause, we we went up, we skyrocketed. It was something positive. We thought we would reach deals pretty quickly. 3 months is a decent amount of time to do so. But here we are on day 15, and we have no news yet of any trade deals. So that hasn't been very positive. However, as you were explaining, the fact that Trump is now saying he won't be as tough with China and that he won't be firing Jerome Powell, which people, thought that was definitely not what we needed. We need our leaders to work together, be on the same page, and move forward. Things are getting a little better, but it's amazing how any news about the trade deals we're immediately seeing the reflection of that on the volatility.
And Gabby, one company I do want to get your take on is Tesla. So earnings season continues in earnest. Tesla rallied despite an earnings miss. So what was your reaction to what Elon Musk had to say?
Yeah, so Elon Musk basically had to say that he will be focusing more on Tesla next month and less in the government, in Dodge, about a day or two a week. And for me, it makes perfect sense. I think he's always been in the government to help. We all know he is a businessman, probably the top one in the world. So we definitely need him to focus on his companies. Tesla has been affected tremendously, even though it benefited with the news, right? On November, it skyrocketed. I remember when it was almost like 500 a share a couple months ago. Now we've seen it be oversold, right? So I think that's the main reason why it's coming up again, because it's almost as if we have good news. They need their leader. Elon Musk has not been focused on his companies. He's admitted it himself. And now that he will be, the market and the different companies tend to react to projections, right? So now that we have this good news for Tesla in the next month, then we expect things to get better and fall back into place. So hopefully that will be done, and that doesn't mean he has to quit Doge, but I think the focus needs to be on his companies.
Well, Tesla is definitely a name we will be keeping our eyes on. But speaking of earnings and sectors, what sectors do you think could lead the next market breakout? What are you paying attention to?
Well, so right now I'm paying attention to mostly commodities. We've seen, gold, the gold ETF reach record highs over and over and over again this year, and it has everything to do with the uncertainty, everything to do with tariffs, everything to do with the volatility. Not having a clear path forward, not knowing how these trade deals are going to turn out, because again, it's day 15 and we've heard nothing except just some back and forth. Oh, we won't be stuff with China, but we're talking to them every day. China says no, they're not talking to us. So it's just very confusing. And gold, it's historically um, an inflation hedge, but it's also where investors go for safety when they don't feel safe about the current environment. So I think commodities, not just gold, but also silver, copper, all the commodity sector are the ones that will most likely be the strongest this year, I would say.
Okay, Gabby, we will have to leave it there, but thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday morning, and we look forward to speaking with you again next week.
Thank you, Remy. See you soon.